I grew up in Atlanta. When I was first assigned to Franklin, North Carolina, there was a bit of a culture shock. You can imagine the contrast between Atlanta, Georgia, and Franklin, North Carolina. And some of the unconscious prejudice and biases that I brought, they centered around kind of labels that we might attribute to a certain geographical area. But I was surprised more than once by the people I met, by the conversations that I had, how open-minded and welcoming and interested and curious people were. I met Brett early on in my appointment here. One of the things that I'm keen on is heart transformation. I can tell just through surface conversation that Brett had been through a process, and I can tell that he had spent time with God. I can tell that the Holy Spirit has been working on his heart through his life, through challenges, through triumphs, and we just connected immediately.
I grew up in Michigan as a young boy, and it was a very white supremacist society. I was pretty hardcore supremacist, so it was a tough personal battle. When Pastor DeAndre came to our church, in my mind, there was an initial race question. You don't see that in the mountains of North Carolina in a church. So I came to church and met him, started talking. From the moment we met, we have been like inseparable brothers. He's helped me, I've helped him, and he's doing a lot of wonderful things for the community.
Brett and I have worked together on the Juneteenth event that the Smoky Mountain District's Justice and Reconciliation team coordinates and plans from year to year. We were able, in front of hundreds of people, to have a conversation about our histories, about our stories, about his upbringing in white supremacy, about my own upbringing, and just to be able to share honestly, forthrightly, with vulnerability. I think it was helpful for people to be able to hear. My relationship with Brett has widened my view of the gospel because it reminded me that the Holy Spirit does the work. I never dreamed that I'd be pastoring in Franklin, North Carolina. Snow Hill has surprised me, and I hope that I have surprised Snow Hill. I hope that we are a gift to one another and that we're over time unwrapping it. There are differences. Of course, there are racial differences, there are cultural differences, and there are age differences. But I know that God is doing a work here, and it's a perfect work. We're going to do our very best to work together to submit to whatever God is calling us to do and who He's calling us to be.